Hi, friends. Welcome to the Clarkston Family Farm at Home. This is a series of interactive videos that take our hands-on learning in nature here at the farm and present it for you in a way to enjoy at home. We hope you dig it.
Hi, kids, and I hope that you are enjoying learning at home during this lockdown that we have going on. And learning is all around, and so even if you're not in school, you can still enjoy having a good time at your house, in your own backyard, and learning so many wonderful things about nature. So, if you don't know who I am, or you've forgotten who I am Naturalist Nancy, and I would like to read to you a story today. And this one is called Seeds Move by Robin Page. And then after the story, I thought that what we would do is I can show you some of the seeds that were mentioned in the story and possibly give you some ideas of what you can do at this time of year. So the story is called Seeds Move by Robin Page. It's beautifully illustrated. And it asks you to think about this question. Think seeds are always still? No, they're not. They're not still at all. They move in many different ways. A seed can hitchhike. So here's a raccoon, and seeds sometimes can stick tight to the fur of a raccoon. In fact, there is a spiky little seed called a stick-tite, and it actually will stick to the tail of the raccoon, and in that way it goes from place to place. A seed can shoot, and actually quite a distance. Some seeds can shoot. For example, this is a little exploding cucumber, and when anything brushes against it or touches it, the seeds shoot out. And then also a seed can catapult. There is a plant that we have at both of the nature centers, and I'm sure you might have some in your own neighborhood. They're called touch-me-nots, and their seed kind of hangs down, and if you brush against it, they'll spring and catapult in all directions. And some seeds float. For example, this coconut is from a palm tree, and when it drops, it can get washed into the ocean and float for many miles, and then it sprouts and makes a new palm tree. Seeds can burrow, and with the help of insects, of course. Here's a picture of some ants finding a seed of a bloodroot seed, and they're bringing it underground. So they're actually gardening. They're acting as our gardeners, and they're actually burrowing down underground with the bloodroot seed. A seed can roll, and again, with the help of some insects. This is a seed from a plant called African grass, and the beetles will roll this seed, and they'll roll it back to their underground homes where it again will shoot up. And then a seed sinks. Some water flowers, like this water lily or lotus seeds, actually have these pods that hold the seeds, and then they drop down into the water. And they actually sink to the bottom so that they can take root. And then a seed can hide. A lot of times what happens is, like, for example, this scrub jay, this bird called a western scrub jay, can collect an acorn. We have many acorns around Michigan, and it will carry it for miles, great distances, and then they will hide it. So they're hiding it, they're storing it, but there's so many that get hidden under the ground. The jay will forget where he puts it sometimes, so the seeds hide, but then they, in turn, make beautiful new oak trees. A seed can also float. So here is a seed called a monkey ladder, and it's really interesting the way the individual seeds are in this long little ladder thing. It's almost like rungs of a ladder, and then they drop down, but they will float again, they float until they take root in faraway shores. A seed can actually squirt. You may have done this with watermelon seeds, where you are eating a slice of watermelon and you spit out the seeds. That's exactly what's happening with this orangutan and one of its favorite fruits. And he's eating and he's spitting out the seeds. And then other animals like this mouse help scatter seeds. So a seed can scatter all along the route of the mouse, wherever the mouse is going, and he's nibbling on the seed and dropping that. Mouse will spit them out and scatter them all over. A seed will fall. Sometimes an unlucky mouse eats a wheat seed that gets snatched up and then gets snatched up by a hungry hawk. And then what happens in a hawk's body is that the mouse is digested, but then a pellet is expelled from its mouth, containing the fur and the bones, and sometimes in that pellet are undigested little wheat seeds, and then they can in turn sprout. This is one of my favorite plants. It's a milkweed plant, and you've seen these, I'm sure, in your neighborhood, around your schools, and in the fall they can split open and the seeds parachute out. They have these real feathery silk-like hairs, and it helps them carry through the wind far distances. A seed can plunge. So this particular seed, called a mangrove seed from this seed pod, well, it actually will fall into the water, but then it sends a shoot down so that in the ground it can actually use the shoot will be in the surface of the underground layer of soil, and then it spreads its own root, and then it'll shoot up into another mangrove. And seed helicopters. Now you may notice these on maple trees. Maple trees have these little seedlings that come out, and they have a little helicopter like form. This is from a yangna tree, and it spins as it falls. And maybe you've seen that when you've picked up one of those little seeds from the maple trees, and then throw them up in the air and they helicopter down. This is my favorite thing that a seed will do. All animals that love to eat berries, and that is including birds and mammals and different kinds of animals, they will eat the berries and then other fruit as well, and then as the bear, in this case the bear, will wander off and in search of more food, but it plops the berries out as it's going from place to place. And you know what's nice about this is that the bear's droppings will actually help the seed, because it'll be nourishment for the seed to grow. And so another tree or plant may grow in its place wherever it plops the seed. And then what happens is, with all seeds, the seed will grow, get larger, turn into what we call a seedling. It grows and it grows. And in this picture, you can see that it's growing into a watermelon. And look at how large it is. And inside this fruit are the seeds to grow more. And so you can see how large this is. Now, in your own home, in your own area, where you're living, in your own backyard, it's springtime. This is a great time to start to harvest some of these seeds that might be on your plants from last season. Now what I do is I get just a little bag, just a little lunch bag, and I planted some hostas in my yard. Now hostas are not native, but they're beautiful plants. I think I may have a picture of one here. This is an elephant ear hosta, so I don't know if you can see that or not. It gets quite large. And what I do is I collect, during this time of year and in the fall, the different seeds. So I'll just kind of hold one up so you can see it. And inside the hosta, seeds, and they're little tiny seeds that grow, and then I plant them all throughout my garden, or sometimes I give them away. Another one I have that I've collected is the purple cornflower. And that's beautiful because butterflies love it. Butterflies will come, and this is called a nectar flower for the butterfly. The milkweed, as you know, will host the caterpillars. The butterfly will lay, the monarch butterfly will lay the eggs onto the milkweed, and then it'll grow. But when the butterfly emerges, it's looking for nectar. It's looking for something that it can live from and gain strength from for its migration. So a coneflower is one of its favorite. It likes that purple color. And so if you have some in your garden, or maybe even in a neighbor's garden, you could ask. These little cones, I guess you could call this, the little center part of the flower, has all these little seed groupings. And so let's see, I have some in a bag that I've collected as well. And then we have black-eyed Susans. This is another good nectar flower for all sorts of butterflies. And again, what I do usually is I will label it. It says black-eyed Susan. I even put the year that I harvested it. And inside here, let me just show you one of those little heads. So here's a little flower head of the black-eyed Susan. And then if each one of those, if you can see, each one of those is the little seeds. So you can scatter them all around. Something that you might like to do is, and I like to do this for my grandchildren, is I like to make a mystery bag. So what I did is I have this little gift bag. I wrote Seffi's Mystery Seeds. I told Seffi on the cover of it how to plant them, how to water, and then just wait and see. So what I did in her mystery bag, I used little coffee filters, and I packaged up some mystery seeds in these little coffee filters. Maybe your mom or dad have some of these around the house. And I didn't tell her what they were. I just packaged them up, and you can just plant them. Plant the entire pack right in the ground, water it, and wait and see. So seeds are wonderful, and I hope that you have some fun during this time collecting and harvesting some seeds. It's a perfect time to do it. It's spring, and you know, it's a great time for planting, but some of those seeds have been sitting around for you know, over the winter, and maybe they were providing food for some of the birds that love to eat some of the seeds that are there in your garden, but maybe there's some left over for you that you can actually harvest and plant. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the book. Again, the book is called Seeds Move by Robin Page, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.